In addition to the GL1500, mic mutes are available for a variety of motorcycle models. The heart of the mic mute system is the control module that mounts underneath the seat of your Goldwing. Now, out of this module come a red power wire and a black ground, as well as 3 other cables that will connect to the 2 headset adapters, as well as the push-to-talk adapter. Now, you can tell the push-to-talk adapter because it has the yellow band around it. I recently installed mic mutes on my 2012 Goldwing, and the installation process is virtually identical. However, the parts are not interchangeable. You do have to have the correct kit for your model Goldwing. Remove the left side cover. The seat will need to be removed to perform this operation, so go ahead and remove the 4 bolts that hold the seat in place on the passenger grab rails. Next, go ahead and remove the 4 screws that hold the left glove box in place. We're going to need to remove this as well. Now you'll notice on this Goldwing there is like a cigarette lighter power port installed, so I have to fiddle with this one a little bit to get it out, but it does come out. Remove the fuse box cover. You can install the main control module on the left side of the motorcycle, kind of under that large wire harness. It's there toward the left frame rail, and I just kind of clipped it underneath the large wires, and that'll hold it in place. Route the red power wire and the black ground from the control module through underneath the frame to the fuse box. Now we're going to connect these to the accessory terminal, red to positive where the plus sign is, and black to negative to where the minus sign is. And then we're going to need to probably modify this cover that goes on the fuse box. I'm using some tin snips here just to cut away a little piece so that those tabs, those connectors, will fit when I put the fuse box cover back on. Next, locate the passenger headset connector. It should be on the left side. It's red, and it's kind of near the frame rail on the left side. Go ahead and disconnect this connector. There's a little release tab there you have to press on, and sometimes they can be a little tough, so just work with it and pull that apart, and that's where we're going to install our first headset adapter. Now we're ready to connect one of the headset adapters. Make sure it's one that does not have the yellow stripe around it, and we're going to connect it in between the 2 connectors that you just disconnected. And I like to, it's a little struggle to do this, but you need to mount that headset adapter so that it fits kind of between the frame and the saddlebag. That way it'll be completely out of the way of the seat. And as you can see here, it takes a little doing because that red passenger connector is almost exactly underneath the frame rail. But you can do it if you just take your time, and you'll get it done. Now we can mount the other end that actually has the headset connector on it to the other end of the headset adapter. Now here you can see where I've located the passenger headset adapter right next to the saddlebag. Now here you can see I've connected one of the 2 short RJ11 style cables that comes out of the control module. These have the little plugs that look like telephone cables on them, and you want to go ahead and do that next. Insert it into the jack on the headset adapter. The CB switch is located inside of a rubber boot. Now on this Goldwing, it is so close to the frame rail there's no way to pull the rubber boot down to get to it, so I'm just cutting it away. I'll replace it later. But you can see here it's the connector that's a brown in color, and that's the one we're going to use. Connect the push-to-talk adapter with the yellow band to the brown connector as shown. Locate the cable coming out of the control module with the yellow band. It has the RJ11 style connector, and connect it to the push-to-talk adapter. Now we're ready to move to the front of the bike. Go ahead and remove the two acorn nuts, they're 10 millimeter, that hold on the top center section of the shelter. Now if you look inside the gas cap area, you'll notice these two plastic tabs. You'll need to press those outward, and that will allow you to raise the center section. Now you don't need to raise it very much, maybe just about an inch, so that we can get the wires up to the front. Okay, now we're ready to locate the long cable coming out of the control module and route it to the front. You'll notice I'm routing it underneath all of the frame, the cross members on the frame, because I don't want the seat to crimp and crush on that wire. And I run it up through the gas cap area, over to the left side of the bike, and then eventually it'll end up down inside that left glove box. Now we need to go ahead and disconnect the rider's headset cable from its connector inside the glove box, and this is where we're going to install the last headset adapter, and it just plugs in place. And then on the other end we'll obviously plug in the rider headset cable, and then the long cable that rerouted from the control module up the left side of the bike, we'll install the little RJ11 style connector. Will go in the slot there on that headset adapter. Now we can go ahead and just kind of tuck all the wires away inside the glove box so that the glove box will go back on, and you can reinstall the left glove box. The optional passenger push-to-talk switch comes as shown in the picture, and it's important to not insert the pins into the connector until the wire has been routed through the speaker enclosure down to the seat area. Remove the Phillips screws that hold the left rear speaker enclosure in place. Lift the speaker enclosure out and remove the speaker wires, making note which wire is connected to which terminal, and set the speaker enclosure aside. The wires from the push-to-talk switch can be routed down through the same hole where the speaker wires go down underneath the seat. You can see it coming out here, and there's the two little pins that have to be put into the connector. Next, drill a 9/32 hole in the bottom of the speaker enclosure. Now this shows how the push-to-talk switch is mounted. You basically remove the nut and the washer, insert the switch through the hole that you drilled, and then reattach the lock washer and the nut and tighten. After you've routed the wires down to the seat area, you can now insert the pins into the connector provided, and it doesn't matter which side they go on, the polarity is irrelevant. This connector will fit on the other end of the push-to-talk adapter, and once you've done that, you're complete. Now it's just a matter of making sure all the wires are tucked away good, reinstalling your seat, reattaching your left side cover, and go for a ride.